Hello everyone, Jason here from Phase Shift Games. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Let's see, I was going to type all this out and I said I just want to get on camera because sometimes it's a lot easier to just explain nuances of things face to face, so to speak, or at least through video. So I've got probably 4 or 5 different things I want to cover tonight, and we're going to end with an unboxing of Trials and Tools. So stay tuned for that. We'll save that for last. So first off, what is this? February 8th. So from a timing perspective, you recently, a lot of you helped us vote for Dungeon Drop and Tavern Tales in the most anticipated games of 2021 contest. Just like last year, we had the most anticipated games for 2020. We achieved great results last year, and I think we achieved great results this year. This year was materially harder. The competition was much more stiff. There was a ton more activity. All I can conclude is that over the course of 2020, a lot of publishers said, we got to switch and focus so much more on virtual stuff. So it was a lot harder this time. There were tons and tons of votes for other games and other categories, which is great. It's fair, right? Fair is fair. But with your help, I think the results, the voting closed as of yesterday. They haven't posted officially the results, but you can go in and kind of count. I think Dungeon Drop won 2 awards, and one of them is in the top 10. The other would be in the top 20 of the respective categories. Basically, Dungeon Drop was in the co-op category, because now it has cooperative mode, and the family category. And Tavern Tales was in the family category and the short game category. So, Dungeon Drop, I think, won awards in both of those categories, and the family category, I think it's in the top 10. Awesome. And Tavern Tales also won, I believe, both of those awards, an award in each of those 2 categories. And again, in Tavern Tales' case, I think it's the short games category that is in the top 10. I mean, considering the competition we had this year, this is astounding. Also, the fact that there's half the backers. I mean, this is an expansion Kickstarter and a standalone game. This, we didn't have the 7,500, 8,000 backers that we had from the original campaign, which is fine. For an expansion, you never expect to get more than maybe a third of the original backers. We got more than half, which is fantastic. So again, the fact that we achieved those results is astounding. So from the bottom of Darren and my hearts, and Scott and Greg, the 2 designers of the games, thank you once again for your support. Those awards are important. They're great. They're little feathers in our cap. They just speak to the activity. They speak to the fans. They speak to the support, the industry, the reception. It's just good. It's goodwill all around. So anyway, thank you very much for that. And as a reminder, we put this out in one of the earlier updates. The thank you gift for that, we actually said we were going to do it anyway, but it is a significant additional expense that we put into Tavern Tales, but we believe it's worth it. That game deserves it, and you deserve to have this upgraded copy. All copies of Tavern Tales will now have cards, not cardstock, what am I trying to say? Cardboard, chipboard, punchboard, that's the word, punchboard tiles for all 11 rooms. So what were going to be those circular cards are now going to be tiles. And all of the scorecards, all 5 of those scorecards, and on the back are those specialty drinks. Those are all going to be cardboard now, punchboard. And the 5 depth tiles, which are the things that go in the center of the table that those room cards get put on top of. Those are going to be, this is so awesome, double thickness punchboard. And if you don't know what that means, if you're familiar with the game Sushi Go Party, it's got that board in the center of the table, and it's double thickness. And basically there's indentations in the double thickness board where other tiles that are also punchboard sit inside it. So they like slot in to this board in the center of the table. It looks amazing. It's really cool and tactile. It just feels like a really premium quality, deluxe quality component. Tavern Tales is now going to have that in every copy across the globe. So that was our thank you gift for helping us out for the contest. All right, let's move on. I probably spent more time on that than I meant to. Number 2 is just a heads up. You're gonna see information from us soon about the Wizards and Spells expansion. I am stoked about how this is going. We have been play testing constantly, refining the rules, working on final artwork. Wizards and Spells. This is the 5-player expansion. So if you're not familiar with that, that's what it is. And it has 2 new game modes, both that go up to 5 players. It allows Dungeon Drop for the first time to go up to a full 5 players instead of 4. So it's a huge opportunity for Dungeon Drop. And the way this expansion's going is amazing. I am so excited about this. And I'm really excited because during the Kickstarter, we weren't able to tell you a ton about it because, as you know, if you followed the Kickstarter, we only agreed to do this like 10 days into the Kickstarter. We had ideas for how to go about a 5-player mode, but we had not fleshed out those rules. So we didn't have artwork. We had a sense of the rules, but we didn't have final rules. What we're doing in the end, this thing is going to be so much more of a full expansion than any of you realize. Right down to the fact that it's going to actually have a box. It's not going to be a full cube box. It might be like a quarter size or half size box, but it's going to have full retail packaging. The cubes are going to be gorgeous. Just wait until you see. I don't have pictures yet, but wait until you see the spell cubes that are going to be in there. The bag, there's a cloth bag. Think of it as a spell bag. And you put the cubes in the bag for one of the 2 game modes. We're going to embroider it. There's going to be an embroidered emblem on the thing. I mean, the whole thing is just going to be outstanding. I am so excited about Wizards and Spells. So Scott has done a tremendous job designing that experience and how it's going to work. A lot of refining of the rules. The rule book is just about done. We got to put some examples in there. But anyway, all going really well. That's Wizards and Spells. Okay, next up, it's February 8th. We are going to close the Pledge Manager. I know right along we've been saying we don't have a deadline because we like to leave it open and give you guys flexibility as long as possible. But at some point, you do need to close it, and we need to get final numbers off to our manufacturer and fulfillment houses. So February 28th, that is, well, it's exactly 20 days from now. End of this month, we will close the Pledge Manager at the end of that day. So please go in, if you haven't already, close out your pledge. All the add-ons are there if you want. Wizards and Spells, the Treasure Trunk. If you don't know, by the way, what we called the Big Box expansion before is now called the Treasure Trunk. So when you're looking in there and saying, where's the big box? It's called Treasure Trunk. So please go in and close out your Pledge Manager by February 28th, so sometime over the next 20 days, and you'll be good to go. If you don't close out your pledge, we can't ship you any product. So that's just the way it works. If you're in certain states in the United States, we have to charge tax. If you're going to add anything on, there's additional costs there. But that should be it. For the European Union and the UK, there's no additional charge because of Brexit and some of those other things. We accounted for everything we had to. Took some extra work, but we planned that up front so that there was hopefully going to be no impact there. But if you add anything onto your order, you have to pay, for the additional credit card charge or whatever. Okay, so please go in, close out your Pledge Manager so that we can ship you your components and keep your order shipping on time. We're still, frankly, this is just how Kickstarters go. From the original Kickstarter, well over a year ago, there's still like 100 people who never closed out their order. I don't really understand how people sometimes don't follow that. Like, we can only announce so much and encourage you to do it so much. So anyway, here's your final notice. Please do that by February 28th. Okay, so I'll get to the unboxing of Trials and Tools in just a second. I posted a message to Kickstarter earlier today. By the way, if you're hearing a background hum, that's my old stupid printer. Sorry about that. It'll finish its cleaning cycle shortly. Hopefully it's not too bad. All right, so I posted to Kickstarter earlier today. We did have a tragedy strike, unfortunately. So my partner Darren, he is okay. His family is okay. So that's the first and foremost. Everyone's safe, everyone's warm, and they have a place to stay. But his house, half of it burned down. Huge change in life, as you can imagine, when something like that happens. He had to uproot his whole family. They have to live out of a hotel for probably a few months. You can imagine what that would do to anyone in life. It's very, very complicated. So what does this mean for you and for this campaign? First of all, goodwill, prayers, good juju, send out positive vibes into the universe, please. By all means, Darren would love that, and his family would love that. But in the meantime, for this campaign, Darren is the graphic designer on all of our projects, so it does have an impact, but it doesn't have much of an impact, and here's why. 2 or 3 things. One, we already had 85-90% of our graphic design done for this project. Number 2, we have other people that we can tap into to help fill gaps. And number 3, he will have his computer. He doesn't have it yet, but in the next day or 2, he's going to have his computer moved into his hotel, and he's going to work out of his hotel for a while. So he's going to be, slower at churning stuff out, as you can imagine. His workflow is just going to be altered a bit. But again, that's just what happens in these kinds of situations. So we are doing everything we can to stay on track and on schedule. Chinese New Year started, I don't know, today or yesterday, and it goes till about 20 days from now. So by the time our factory comes back to work, our plan was to have all the files ready for them so they can start working through the manufacturing process. Maybe not 100% of everything will be ready by the time they come back, but we still have 90% of it ready already. So we'll get them going on that stuff, and then maybe it takes us an extra couple weeks to, for Darren to help the final graphic design elements, and then we give those to the factory a couple weeks later than anticipated. I don't think this is gonna make a big difference for you and for the delivery of your products. But I would be stupid to not mention it and to put on the table now that if this ultimately does cause some amount of delay, we want you to have as much of a heads up as possible. But we really think that we're well prepared for this, and we have backup plans, so hopefully you all understand. That's what it is. That's it. Now let's get to the fun stuff. Let's unveil Trials and Tools. We use a lot of alliteration in our products. Dungeon Drop, Tavern Tales, Trials and Tools. So the words all mixed together at some point. All right, so this is a mini expansion, just like Skeleton Skulls was a mini expansion, and Gelatinous Cubes, and a bunch of others, right? Where basically there's a card and some cubes. But one of the things that we've realized we have to do is kind of increase the display potential for these mini expansions. Down the road, we may even stop doing mini expansions as little packages and combine a bunch together into a smaller box and just make it like a Dungeon Drop Essentials box or something. Because we have to think about retail across the globe. You all helped us get where we are today, which is that we have a very successful game. It has a good market. It's got a lot of fans. And because of that, we have retailers and distributors across the globe that want in. But they want in for something that looks ready to be put on a shelf. And that's not a Ziploc. I don't have one right here, but the Ziploc bag with a card and 2 cubes. They want something that looks a bit more refined than that, a bit more professional. So for Trials and Tools, at least, this is not final, but we might still change direction a little bit. But this is probably close to what you can expect. So it's still a bag. I mean, it doesn't deserve a box on its own. It's just a couple cards and cubes. But if you can see it on the camera, hopefully, this is a really cool, like, holographic bag. It is like Ziploc at the top, and it can be sealed, and then it has a little tear spot, so you tear open the top. It's got a sticker with all the barcode information, and you can see the display in the main window. So right off the bat, and I don't know if you can tell, but it's got, the typical hole at the top for retail pegs, so you can imagine stores will put this on pegs coming out of the wall. And, if we had all of our mini expansions up to this level, it'd be awesome. So this is just a step in the right direction. Like I said, we might do more, but for now, this is a good step in the right direction. All right, so let's take a look at what is inside, because like I said, this is near final at this point. We've done all the rules, the graphic design, so let's take a look. You can tell that there are 4 treasure dice in here already, and some number of cards. So let's open this up and show you what everything looks like. All right, so first off, there there's everything. So there's the empty bag. So first off, of course, we have the beautiful, what we freaking love, these treasure dice. They are no different than the ones that you already know and love. These are the same treasure dice. So there's 4 of them that come in the package, and they're going to be added to your game in a certain way. You don't just throw them in. You have to. There's some subtle rules. And then there are 3 cards. So this card it's almost like a mini playmat. It's 2-sided. On one side this is the treasure trial card, which has a space called the treasure pool, and some treasure will be put there. And then it has these 2 spaces here. I have to do it in reverse on the camera. Basically, what you're able to do is go into this secret treasure room in the dungeon, and you find it by you're going to add the black cube from solo mode. You're going to add that to the starting dungeon, and that's like a spiral staircase that leads to this secret treasure room. So if you ever form a room and use the spiral staircase as one of the 3 pillars, that gives you access to this. So now that you have this, on the bottom at the beginning of the game, there's going to be 1 of each color gem and 1 of the new treasure chests. The other 3 treasure chests go into the box to replace those 3 gems. So all 4 of those are going to be here in the treasure pool. What you do is you put 1 of those that you want. Let's say you want clear gems or the treasure chest. You put that in the green spot over here. And then you take 1 of your own treasure from your stash and you put it in the yellow spot over here. And then all you do is you have 1 flick. You have 1 attempt to do this treasure trial. You're trying to make a swap. You flick your treasure from this side over towards this side. You want to bang that other cube out and have your cube stay there in the green spot, in or touching the green spot. So if you know a popular movie where there might be like a gold monkey statue and a sandbag and you're trying to do the swap, that's what this is. It's the same general idea. So that's that. And then on the flip side is the lockpick toolkit. And this is used at the end of the game. So this is 2-sided because this is used during the game, and then at the end of the game you flip it over, and now any treasure chests that you acquired during the game where you don't have a key, you can attempt to pick its lock. You put the treasure chest in the yellow space here, and you have 3 free flicks. You have to flick first up towards the 1, then over towards the 2, and finally down in the center towards the 3. It's like you're taking that lockpick and jamming it in there and crunching it all around to unlock the chest. If you ever miss, you can actually pay for another attempt, but it's a -1 score every time you pay. So there's a little bit of a push your luck there. If you're good, you could do it all in no extra flicks for free. So basically you just unlock the chest, you roll it and see what's inside. If you mess up once, then you pay 1 score, -1 score, and then you get to the end. Now it's like you roll the chest and you just subtract 1 from it. If you're really bad, then you maybe decide at some point it's not worth it, and you just stop and don't pay for any more attempts. So that's how those 2 work. That's the 2-sided thing. And then there are 2 double-sided rules cards. So this is the treasure trial card, has the setup rules and standard gameplay rules. And on the back is specifically activation. These are the rules for when you activate the treasure trial. This is exactly how you do what I just described. It's really simple, but it's fully, and then it says like success is this and fail is this, and it's all right there. And likewise, the 3rd card is the lockpick toolkit. And once again, setup instructions, scoring instructions, and the activation with success and fail is on the back. So that should be nice and easy. That is Trials and Tools. I want to give a shout out to Silver Lightning, one of our popular fans who, or devout fans. He was around since the beginning of the first campaign. He's loved the game. He's submitted a bunch of different ideas to us over the 1.5 2 years. We ran this design contest for the treasure dice, and he submitted, I think, 4 different design ideas amongst, I forget what it was, like 30 or 40 other submissions that we got from you all. But we ended up choosing 2 of his as the winner for this. And so this truly is a fan-made expansion that we have now refined and blessed and made official. But shout out to Silver Lightning, you did a great job, and this is a super awesome mini expansion. So hopefully everyone likes what they see. If that's not in your pledge already, you can easily add it through the pledge manager if you would like, along with everything else. Okay then, I think that is everything I wanted to cover for today. I do have more exciting news to come. Couple things that we're working on. I can't say much more yet, but stay tuned. We have some cool stuff coming. The treasure trunk, we're hopefully going to get a white sample of that not too long from now, so we'll be able to show you what that looks like, along with those plastic game trays that are going to be inside it. And we'll, as always, keep you updated as we get pictures from our manufacturer, as we get samples. We'll keep you apprised of everything we got going on. Until then, thanks so much for watching. Have a great night. Take care. Bye-bye.